Bear down.
Now, the Chicago Bears will come into this year's offseason yet again as one of the main focal points of the NFL draft, the NFL free agency, because yes, again, they have the number one pick in the draft through crazy circumstances. Shout out to the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Bears have a lot of ways they can go in improving their roster this offseason, but I did a recent mock draft, and a comment made by user Correas 1854. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. And he talked about trading for Jonathan Allen. Now, I shot the idea down as it's something that I've thought about, but Allen is from the DMV area. He doesn't want to leave that area, but he also has stated that he does want to win and doesn't want to go through a rebuild. And his contract is a bit chunky, but then I looked at the trade value of his contract, and it is actually doable. So me being me, I started to do a little more research, and a trade for Allen as well as signing Chase Young is not as far-fetched as I thought it was. Now, before we get into it, don't forget to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you can get all the news on the draft, NFL news, free agency news right here at Draft Capital Sports. But anyway, let's continue. Follow me. Now, Young is a free agent this offseason. He's currently playing with the 49ers in the playoffs and not doing hot, as if you listen to the 49er fans on Twitter, and they had me rolling, just roasting Chase Young in the game against the Green Bay Packers. Now, it probably wasn't the best idea for the Niners to trade for Chase Young without being able to sign him to an extension before he hits free agency. And the man, I'm sure, wants to win a Super Bowl, and I'm sure he's playing hard, but he also wants to get to free agency healthy so he can get that bag. But anyway, Young's value is probably going to be around $14 million a year. And as you see on the screen here, if we trade for Jonathan Allen, the most the Bears will be on the hook for, depending on when the trade happens, is about the same, $14 to $15 million a year. Now, the Bears are scheduled to have about $50 million in cap space after a few cuts, namely Eddie Jackson, Cody Whitehair. That will save them roughly $24 million, so they'll have about $74 million to work with. Now, you have to factor in the draft class that has yet to come in and the other smaller free agents that will be there to fill out the roster. Now, depending on how they structure the Chase Young contract, and also depending on how they structure Jalen Johnson's contract, the Bears could actually trade for Jonathan Allen and sign Chase Young and bring the band back together that was in Washington that caused so much havoc as one of the best defensive lines in all the NFL. And this is something that Ryan Poles might have had in his brain the whole time. Because when I look at the contract of Montez Sweat and I look at Jonathan Allen's contract, Montez Sweat has a potential out in his contract in the year 2026. And Jonathan Allen's contract ends in the year 2026, as well as DJ Moore's contract also ends in 2026. Now, there's another key factor about the year 2026 that I'm not going to get into right now because I don't want to derail this video into a more hot topic, if you will. But I think Ryan Poles could really be setting up to add a lot more talent to this roster, a lot more than I thought they would this offseason coming up. Because the way he's setting up these contracts, the draft capital that they have, the possibilities of the draft capital that they could gain through trades, this Bears roster could be chock full of talent for the next 2 seasons and be one of the contenders in the NFC, if not the whole NFL. Because this past season, though the Bears were tied for the league in interceptions, they were towards the bottom of the league in sacks. If they get that right, I think this defense will definitely challenge to be the number 1 defense in the league. Package that with improvements on offense, however you think they may come about. I don't want to hear your nonsense in the comments for all the Caleb Williams cult trolls. The Bears should definitely be a contender in 2024 and going into the future. But let me know what you think in the comments below about my theory, about this strategy. Is it crazy? Is it stupid? Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button, hit that notification bell, and as always, find that red button and subscribe. Thank you for listening. Peace.